Because in this industry, people do a lot of things to get what they want. The industry, that's why it's called entertainment industry. People go into drugs. People do a lot of things, to get what they want.
They say America is a gateway to heaven. How many ever get to see the other side?
Gee. My name is Chineze Anyaene, and I am the director and producer for the film EJ, and that's basically it.
Your sister's been charged with a very serious crime.
He wants me to see I did something I didn't do.
Did you know that that was there before? You were just doing your own thing?
You know, in the film school, you have the option to do like 4 semesters or 5 semesters. 4 semesters where you do a short film, like 15 or 30 minutes, or the 5 semesters where you have the option to do a feature. So I chose the option of the feature because, you know, the short film thing doesn't really get you that far apart from festivals. Not to say that you cannot get a feature deal from there, but, you know, I took the opportunity to do a feature to, you know, take the advantage of playing my student card. And yes, I'm the first student in the history of the school, because I think the school just started the master. I think I'm the 4th set in the history in the master's program at the New York Film Academy. So. I did the 1-year filmmaking in 2005, of which I knew was not enough for me. You know, so I had to go back to school to do the master's for 3 years. Yes, and then that was when I was like, okay, now I'm ready to make a feature. Now, this is it. But yes, people, you can do a 2 weeks course at the New York Film Academy, and then you say you're a New York Film Academy graduate. But that doesn't mean that you actually know what you're doing. But at the same time, you know, you could be creative. But you know, film school, like we always ask that question: if film school is worth it? I would say yes and no. Yes, because you learn the basics of filmmaking, but the actual filmmaking actually happens on set. What I learned in EJ, NIFA did not teach me. Do you understand? It's a whole experience. EJ is actually my story, but you know, because I was doing the whole Nigeria and Western and African culture together, and because the courtroom drama, I didn't know a lot about the courtroom. You know, I had to do a lot of research, so I brought on board Samuel Tilson. He's a well-known screenwriter to help me write the screenplay. So it was just my story, and he did the whole script and the whole script writing and everything.
And in terms of casting, who came up with the idea to get Genevieve and Omotola?
Of course, it was me.
Why?
Why? I had in mind that I've always wanted to work with Omotola and Genevieve, but, you know, like I always say, it's how do I get them? You know, but I was just working based on fate, you know, and I kept writing, and every time the story would go further, like every time a different draft would come, I would say, this is it, this is my character, it's Omotola and Genevieve that can play this role. And then I went to Nigeria and I went to go discuss with them.
Genevieve.
Yeah, that's me, Genevieve. Hi, representing Nollywood.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's my first experience shooting a movie on film.
Omotola Jalade, she's very talented, very intelligent. She's a good actress.
And this is Omotola.
Prior to that, so when I went to Nigeria, before I even got a deal with them, I was already casting kids in Africa that looked like Omotola very well, but the other one did not look like Genevieve. But I was just casting the light skin and dark skin, but it was just based on that. You know what? I was like, I'm going to get these girls. I was just working at it. I have to get them. These are the girls that will pull the story out for me. First of all, I shot 35. And you know what comes with 35? The whole crew, the equipment and everything. And secondly, for production design's sake, I did not just want to be tied down to certain colors, like a certain look. You know, because of the color chart I was going with for the film, I had a color tone.
They want to make you believe that the 3 dead men did not fire that same weapon. because that's the best that they've got.
I would say that's the most challenging scene in that movie. Courtrooms. If you find out, like, sometimes in LA, the courtrooms are very small, and then the furnitures are fixed to the floor. So it's best for you to use a soundstage where you can move the furnitures around and stuff like that. And you have certain rules and regulations. Being that LA is a city of filmmaking, there are certain rules, insurance and everything. You cannot scratch their walls, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. So it's best for you to use a soundstage for that. I believe it's a hard sell. Why? Because first of all, it's about immigrants, and I think a lot of us, especially in London, America, we're all immigrants. We all know what immigrants go through in different countries. And being Nigerian, first of all, we are very family oriented. People, mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters would go to any length to save, the other. So I believe it's a story that would sell itself because it's very believable. Because I believe that if you find your sister in jail or in a death sentence, you would do anything possible, humanly possible, to save your sister. So the storyline is very believable, not just for Nigerians, but also for the world. Okay, in this industry, people do a lot of things to get what they want. The industry, that's why it's called entertainment industry. People go into drugs. People do a lot of things, to get what they want. And people are desperate. This industry is an industry of desperate people. If you stay in LA, you would see what people are doing just to get the American dream or the Hollywood glory. And then you will understand. I guess, I don't know if Nigerians, I know Nigerians would believe it. And that's why I had a twist in the story, why, the twist in it, why the sister kept it away from everybody.
Mrs. Barron.
Yes.
I'm Anyanwu's sister, Chioma.
Who?
Anyanwu Michino. She's your client.
Oh, yes. I want you to know that I am deeply sorry about your sister's situation.
As a filmmaker, personally, I think, and just for me, that's just my personal opinion, that I would not even put the love scene in the story. But that's they always say for every story there should be a sub story, and that sub story is usually done for the female and children, for the female audience. They want the love, the love in every story. Otherwise, it just be a straight courtroom drama.
Director, now, that's almost like a guy director thinking, let's put the love scene in it.
Yeah, for business.
For market.
Every actor would ask you on set, they would say, why am I doing this? Why am I kissing this? Why am I doing this love scene? You should give them a reason. I think sometimes why you use the word comical, Nigerian love scenes are comical, because sometimes just from nowhere, you're just kissing and rubbing and there's nothing to motivate. There's nothing driving, why motivate that character to do that thing. So it seems like a joke. I was going for my color tone because I was going for like the grays, the blacks, the browns. Do you understand? Because of the story. Like in LA, do you understand? But in Nigeria, I was going for the greens, the beautiful color, because Africa represents freedom. Because she's from Nigeria, she would wear the print. And then what colors are like hope. So she brings, anytime she comes into a scene, there's like hope. From wardrobe with the DPs and the makeup and everything. So I'm a big fan of color in filmmaking. Like my color tone, I work a lot with the color charts. My color tone must be on point.
Ogadema, things will get better.
You're Nigerian?
Yes.
The girl in the prison,
Libby.
is she Nigerian or?
She's British.
Because there's 2 times when she actually spoke Yoruba and then she spoke Igbo.
So you're talking of the character?
The character, yeah.
Yeah, the character is born by Nigerian parents.
Well, my mom is. I was born here. I'm Libby.
I think part of that thing, one of the things, because I grew up in Abuja, so I tend to meet, be thief, and I meet a lot of people, so I would go with any language just to, any tribe. I think that's also influenced my filmmaking there, like not trying to stick to certain things. Trying, if you see, I use like even the Yoruba songs, I use Igbo song. It's just growing up in Abuja, like meeting different tribes and then trying to play all in one, but the characters are Igbo. There's this new film stock that is out now, the Vision 3.
Vision 3 for Kodak.
Yeah, I use a lot. Kodak was a great supporter. I use the Vision 3 stock. But what I want you to know is for Nigeria, I did not use 35. I used 16.
Okay.
For Nigeria, because the whole grain structure and everything, and because it's a flashback, right, so it looks like the old look and everything. And for this thing, so I use the 7219s and everything. So, but I did use Vision 3 in Nigeria alone because of those depths, and I wanted to bring out the beauty and everything. But in LA, I use a Vision 2 and a Vision 3 mix, like the different, yeah. In Nigeria, we did 2 weeks of, actually 2 weeks, because, why? Because there was bad rainy days, we went there during rainy season. In LA, we did 6 weeks principal photography, and then we did 9 months from January to that November of post-production. 9 months. Which one?
Post-production, 9 months.
I would say...
How many films they will have finished in Nollywood?
I know, but I didn't even know that I would do 9 months. I remember going into the studio. I was like telling the editor, I went to see my production. My production was the studio that edited the film. I was like, I want this thing done in 4 weeks. He just looked at me and laughed. He's like, 4 weeks? I'm like, yeah. He's like, 4 weeks is what he's going to use to give me a temp. You know what? Should I be saying this on Film101?
Try.
My score is brilliant. My score is, I'm proud. You need to watch the film with a new score. It takes the film to a different, whole new level. My score is, the score takes the film to a different level. But I remember this day I was grading, and then the colorist said, Chineze, your film looks like, have you seen Steven Spielberg's Color Purple? Thank God I did not see Color Purple before I made EJ, because it would have influenced me a lot. Yeah. But if I had seen Color Purple during my scoring process...
Let me guess.
Are you seeing, you understand? You're seeing it now.
Right down to the yeah.
Thank you. My own was 10-10.
Yes,
10-10.
Exactly. Wow.
Yeah. You seeing it now? Someone has to pinpoint that for you to know that. But
I was actually thinking that person was asking an ignorant question, but actually
if you connect it, you see that there's some kind of, and then I was like, oh God. Well, and then my cinematographer said, you know what? Thank God you didn't see Color Purple before, because it have influenced you a lot.
Color Purple itself is a journey.
The same sisters, yeah. Exactly. So and on the plus side, that means I think like me and Steven Spielberg think alike. That's a plus thing for me.